Our fourth and fifth soffit installations will be a straight, then radiused light cove. We are continuing on with our jig table constructed out of OSB with clean, straight cutout lines to guide the layout of our light cove main tees. Our separate cove components have been pre-cut and are ready to quickly assemble on our template. We will first build 16 running feet of straight cove, then 16 running feet of curved light cove. Five pre-jigged light cove T-frames are suspended by 12-gauge wire, then connected with 16-inch on center, 4-foot drywall cross tees. Once drywalled, the vertical backsplash of the light cove will be ready to tie into an acoustical ceiling with the attachment of acoustical wall angle to the backsplash. The light cove soffit will be guaranteed to be square after running our dry line again prior to installing our cam angle. Once secured, level, and square, perform the final tie-off to your main runners. On this light cove, you will have 3 runs of cam utility angle, 2 runs along the front and 1 at the bottom of your vertical backsplash. Now, let's move on to the radius light cove. While today's projects not only have light coves, they tend to have a bunch of curved light coves. Let Armstrong custom shop draw your radius light coves. Here's how to build them. Our radius light cove will be suspended from a flat drywall grid subceiling above our light cove. First, we will need to install a radiused cam angle interface for our light cove frames to drop off of. First, you will need to draw your radius on the floor, directly below where the light cove radius cam angle will be installed. Next, crimp your cam to curve it precisely to the marked radius on the floor. We are using a radius angle crimper from Radius Track with crimps every 8 inches. Our cam with its 4-inch on center starter holes is a great measuring stick when determining where our 8-inch on center crimp marks will be. If you crimp more frequently, the tighter the radius. Let's transfer our radius from the floor vertically with a plumb laser to our subceiling above. Mark the angle attachment point on every tee by sliding the plumb laser along the line on the floor. Our light cove frame sections are now being hung while installing 4-foot cross tees in one step, then finally clamping and screwing to the radius cam that we previously installed. If the radius on your project is tighter, then you will need to increase the frequency of your light cove mainframes while reducing the length of your cross tees to meet the demands of your radius. As you can see, we are able to meet a fairly aggressive radius by just keeping our light cove mainframes on 4-foot centers, which is pretty amazing. How about utilizing the same wires that are suspending your subceiling to suspend plumb wires to your light cove below? You can do that with a DDC or double drywall clip, available in buckets of 250 or quantities of 50 in our Fast Ship program. You will have 3 additional runs of radius cam angle that match your original template on the floor. When you're crimping your cam angle to the marked radius on the floor, just make sure you crimp enough for 4 total runs, which includes the run that you originally attached to the subceiling. When attaching your cam at the base of your vertical backsplash, you will need to notch out with snips as needed so your cam mounts flush. Now, you may ask, what do we do with these 5 random lengths of main runners coming out off the back end of our light cove? Let's just run a straight dry line and mark off cut locations on each of these mains. After cutting each main to our markings with snips, we simply square off all 5 light cove mains with a straight main runner. Now we will have an efficient platform to continue a straight installation for the rest of our lower drywall grid ceiling installation. This lower ceiling can, of course, be suspended with a DDC clip and plumb wires, which transfers the lower ceiling load up through the upper ceiling all the way to structure. Isn't that cool? How are you going to build your next Drywall Light Cove?